Mm. Okay, thank you for being here. I'm Thomas Sandström. I'm from a company called Adtollo, and I will talk about publishing data on the web, or I will also show you some other things that we do before we publish it on the web. See if we get you on the web later on. So Adtollo, we develop software. Actually, it's more of mapping software for anything that is mapping and with the accuracy. So we come from the total station fields, so from fields away, and then going to CAD, and then going to databases and to design. But we actually have had a tunnel software for about 15 years, doing tunnel calculations. And the latest we have done now is to implement it with the point clouds, so we can calculate point clouds towards the tunneling. We're sitting in Stockholm. All development is made in Stockholm. Everything we do is owned by us. There's nothing else. There's no AutoCAD, nothing other software than TupoCAD and TC5D that I will show today. And 100% owned by Adtollo. So point clouds in TupoCAD is imported from anything, any files, LAS files, point ASCII files, anything, and we just handle all the millions of points inside the tunneling, like here, or if it's a flat surface from LiDAR or from a vertical scan like this. Anything will go in, and then what you do is up to you. And we are quite big in the entrepreneurial construction sites, and mining is a very small part for us, but tunneling is some part. So what you do is in TupoCAD you calculate and create a section template, and how it should look like in the section to have something to compare with. We can add any information here. If you want to calculate the volumes for the gallery, you put just a line here. Now we have made 2 lines, so if you have some geological overprofile going outside this one, we have an extra area calculating as that one. If you want to have something else, you can do anything here with this section. You can also have this, if the tunnel will be wider, the lines on the side could be following a sideline, so it will actually follow the width of the tunneling. And when we have created something, this is a calculated cross-section, so you see now we have 2 blue lines, and now this irregular section here is from the point cloud that you actually just saw. You see here, this is a space where we're actually going quite much outside, the 40 centimeters outside of the design tunnel, so this is not good for us. And what we can do here is that we can actually mark this intersection and the intersection here, and well, that's it for this one, and put it out and going into a 3D drawing that we've seen in the next picture. And of course, all areas is calculated. Here is the cross-section areas calculated, and we can define all areas. Well, of course, design one. You can have an area inside the 40 centimeters. We can have this area outside the 40 centimeters outside. Of course, the area that is inside the design tunnel, and anything you want. This is also a cross-section that actually skews. You see it's a slope on the bottom. It's the Norwegian way to make tunneling. They have all the tunnels will follow actually the road slope in the So it's a very special thing just to have everything, the vertical one, also going along the road, the vertical road. So this is how it would look like in TupoCAD, and we can have a look at it later on in the real one. The color or the selected lines here is where we actually have the geological overprofile. So here is where our point cloud is going outside the 40 centimeters outside the designed tunneling. So of course we don't want them, but we have them here. And here's just a picture from inside the tunneling, and we can actually see the point cloud is inside the vertical tunnel. Of course, we wouldn't want that either. Should be an empty here. And the next step is that we actually can publish this on internet. So I will just go and show this in TupoCAD. We have the design section here, and you can add any layers here if you want any layers, calculating volumes, areas, anything, just add them here, put them cross, vertical, horizontal, etc. And the calculated tunnel, this is from the mine that we saw, but we saw on the published system, or we can have this one, which is too much things here now. That one we saw in the picture. Also a sloping one, and when we show this one in a drawing, the 3D drawing, it will look like this. So now I have added a lot of layers in the same time, so it can be a lot of mess. But if we have a small look here, this is the green one is the design tunnel. The orange one here is the geological overprofile with 40 centimeters outside. And if we go inside, you have the dots here is actually the point cloud itself. And you can see how the black one here is cross-sections towards the point cloud. So we're using a point cloud, not a terrain model. So we're using a point cloud directly to calculate it from. We don't need to use a terrain model between here. And the lines here is where we have the cross-section, the intersection between the point clouds and the vertical geological profile. So now if we actually want to view this on the web, we go into another application called TC5D. And if I have I start from beginning. This is a home page. It's nothing else. It's just a home page. There's no plugin. You can use this if you have using Chrome or Safari or a modern Explorer, version 11. You can just go to this, go to demo.tc5d.net, and you can use it yourself. Or Safari using an iPad. Admin. And I will load some data, and I will load come on now. This is cloud data. I think it's quite slow internet connection. This is TunnelWorks, and point cloud, and it's stored in a server in Stockholm. Oh. Slow now. And what we actually show, there's no plugin. We send the data and using the WebGL. It's a graphic interface inside the browser now. The Google Chrome and the Firefox and Internet Explorer and Safari, they already have WebGL. So we don't need to have anything else to use for showing in 3D. And now we're actually showing the same thing that we saw before. We go into perspective mode. And you see the point cloud, you see vectors. Okay. And if we had some raster files, we could tape them here, draped raster files, have signs, anything. We could use also terrain models. So actually you can blend a lot of data. You can blend all kinds of data that you have in 3D. And publishing your tunnel, your point cloud, your design, your road design, anything here. And now I'm logged in, so I have all the access to everything. But if I don't have access and don't log in, I just have access to the published data. So you can say, okay, publish this, and it will be open for the community, for everyone. Or you can give them a viewer account, and for everyone that will look at it, they also have the possibility to look, to close information. And they can actually also make notes, so make redlining notes, say, okay, this is strange, check it out. We call it TC5D. It stands for Tuple Collaborator 5 dimensions. And the fourth dimension is version, time. So all data here is saved with time. And it's actually all objects. So every single line, every point cloud is stored with its own version. It's not a file or database itself. It's very, very small objects stored with its own version. The fifth dimension is relation. So points can be related to point cloud, or points can be related to road mid, or points can be related to cost, or to anything else. So that's the fifth dimension. So this is actually on the internet. You can download it yourself, or just go to here. No plugin, just use it. It looks like an application, but it's actually not. Okay. I'm in beside Faro ATS. I will be in 309, so if you will have a look, we will. You can check yourself, and I have done it, and you will be on internet soon in 3D. Okay, thank you.